reimagined.
Hello, welcome to the TR Care exercise class for stroke recovery. My name is Steph and I'm a physical therapist, and today I'm going to take you through a quick 15-minute warm-up exercise routine. We will be incorporating all of the exercises on the TR Care website, and these are specifically designed for stroke. So before we get started, just a few things to remember. When you're in your chair, make sure that you shimmy out a little bit in your chair so that you're not leaning back against the back of the chair. Okay, you want to have a nice upright posture, and you want your feet planted firmly on the ground. You want them to be right underneath your knees, and you should not be able to see the tips of your toes. So if you can, pull them back under you a little bit more and make sure that they are even. You shouldn't be shifted to one side, and your weight should be centered nicely between your hips, okay? Also, remember to breathe and have fun with this. So we'll get started soon, but also remember that if you want to do your affected side more than your other side, feel free. You don't have to switch with me. So if I go from one side to the other and you would like to do more repetitions than you normally would on your affected side, go ahead. You don't have to switch sides. And I can remind you that as we go through the workout. All right, we're gonna take a few deep breaths to get started. So here we go, breathing in and out. All right, and if you can't reach the arms overhead, that's totally fine. Instead, take the hands out in front of you, clasp those hands. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. If you have any pain in your shoulder, I would not go above shoulder height. So just about here is fine, okay? If you don't have pain, then you can go a little bit higher, whatever's comfortable for you, okay? Nice deep inhale and exhale. And then we're going to begin to roll down by tucking the chin to our chest, okay? Roll back into the pelvis and round the spine. And then do the opposite if you're going to pull up in the opposite direction. So you're rocking forward on your pelvis and you have a nice curve in your lower back. Gazing up toward the ceiling, and then let's go ahead and roll back again, rounding the spine, tucking the chin down toward the chest, and then again extend, shift the weight forward, look up, and last time roll it back, tucking the chin back and the hips, and then extend, gazing toward the ceiling again, extending that spine, and relax. And then when you come back to the middle, let's now look over one shoulder and then the other. And one more. Look over one shoulder and then the other. Nicely done. All right, now this time we're going to drop our ear to one side. So if you can drop the opposite arm down, bring one arm down, and then go ahead and do that. Dropping the ear to the opposite side and back to the middle. Let's do the other side. Drop it down and back to the middle. Okay, make sure you don't raise the shoulder up toward your ear. Instead, let those arms dangle. Nicely done. All right, next, stay in that side bend position, but then turn your gaze down toward the floor slightly. Come back up to the center, repeat to the other ear. Drop it down, turn your gaze down, back up to the center. All right, now let's put your shoulder blades together. And then relax. And pull your shoulder blades together and relax. One more time, pull them together and relax. Great job. All right, now with those arms dropped to the side, let's add a little bit of lateral flexion here to each side. So bend down like so. And if you want to bring one arm overhead, you can. If you feel that's too challenging, keep those arms down and just go side to side. Coming straight back to the middle and then to the other side. All right. Okay, and now we're gonna make our way down to your feet. So I noticed I moved back a little in my chair, so I'm gonna shimmy back out. Sometimes these movements are hard, and if you feel like you don't have the movement or don't have the strength, then I encourage you to go ahead and try the movement by visualizing what it will look like in your head, okay? Because that still helps the connection in your brain just to visualize the movement. All right, so next, we're going to start with some feet movements, all right? We're gonna do a little bit lifting of the toe, okay? So let's start with your weaker leg. That's always a good start. And all you're gonna do is lift the toe up and down. Lift those toes up. This is dorsiflexion. We're using a tiny muscle in the front of the shin. So I know that it can get tired easily, so let's just do 2 more. And then let's do the other foot. Go ahead, tapping the toe up and down. If you want, go to the rhythm of the music. That will help you out a little bit there. Makes it more fun too. And now let's alternate, 1 foot and then the other, okay? So here we go, for 3, and 2, and 1. Now we're gonna lift the heel up and down. So let's just stay on one side. Start with one side, lift the heel up and down, up and down. So this is what it looks like. You lift that heel up and down. If you're in a brace, you'll wanna remove the brace because it's going to be too hard to do it with the orthotic on, okay? So here we go for 2 and 1. Now let's go to the other side. All right, lifting that heel up. Great work. For 2 and 1. And now let's alternate one side and then the other. Back and forth for 3, 2, and 1. All right, nice job. Next, tap that heel out and pull it back in. You're sending that knee out and back, out and back. All right, working those quadricep muscles in the thigh for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, nicely done. Other leg if you want, or stay on the affected side if you want. All right, just kicking that leg out, tapping the heel onto the ground in front of you. Here we go for 5, and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to go out to the side, like this. Like we're hopping in our boat. So pretend you're sitting in a boat. All right, we're gonna go Tina Turner down the river. Here we go for 3, 2, and 1. Now switch sides if you want, or you can stay on the affected side if that one needs more work, which it probably does, so go ahead. Stay on that side or switch for 3, 2, and 1. All right, now we're going to step outside of our boat with both legs. We have a nice wide stance here, and I want you to use your visualization a little bit on this one. Let's put your feet back in the boat, okay? So step back in the boat. Let's practice that one more time. Let's take those feet out nice and wide, okay? And then let's put this feet back into the boat. All right, last one here. Bring them back in, up and over the boat. All right, now you're sitting on that tiny little bench in the water on your boat, and you have the wind blowing. So there's waves moving you back and forth. And so I want you to start with a nice little weight shift here, all right? So weight shifts are important because they teach you to move from the hip. And trusting to put that weight into the hips is actually going to lift the hip up and down, okay? So we're shifting side to side. You should be able to get one hand under there. I'm not necessarily leaning my torso. I'm just lifting a hip, okay? Squeezing that glute so that it lifts that hip up for a moment. Let's go for 2 more on each side and 1 more on each side. And now we're back in the middle of the boat, okay? My feet are a little bit higher because I'm in the boat. So I'm going to use a little bit more core than I normally would. So let's go ahead and use the core and the arms. We're gonna do a rowing motion with the arms. But I gotta get my oar out first. So there's a couple ways that you can grab your oar. First off, if you want, you can just grab it like this. Or if you want to clasp your hands, you can do so to hold the oar. Or you could also use a handy dandy piece of exercise band of some sort. So if you want to use a band, you could wrap it around one hand, wrap it around the other, and here is your oar to paddle with. Otherwise, like I said, here or here. So grab the oar or the paddle, and here we go. And I want to make sure that you're really rotating diagonally through the trunk, through the pelvis, pushing that water, but make sure the oar comes behind your hips so that you get that nice scapular mobility. Here we go. Let's start on one side, push through that water. All right, for 5, 4, really work it, 3, 2, working through the water, 1, using that core, all right? You should feel it in those abs. So now we're gonna go to the other side. So switch, grab the paddle or the oar, whatever hand position you're doing. All right, and here we go. Nice big movements. Bring that elbow back behind your hip. All right, here we go for 3, 2, and 1. All right, now let's hold the oar or the paddle out in front of you right here. Palms facing down, okay, holding it at chest height, shoulder height if you can. And then what you're going to do is bring the knees up to touch it. So one at a time, bring the knee up. There we go. Make sure you don't lean back too much, okay? Stay nice and upright and forward. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, and then the other leg. 3, 2, and 1. All right. Now I'm gonna hold the oar with just one hand. I'm gonna go up and down with it, with the other hand just relaxed, okay? So up and down. If you can go overhead, go ahead. Otherwise, just go to 90 degrees. All right, whatever works for you. Good, let's go for 5, and 4, 3, 2, and 1 more. Great job. All right, so you should have been using the affected side. If not, go to that affected side. Let's go ahead and do for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now I'm gonna take the paddle side to side. If I need, cross the hands. Otherwise, you can do it just like this. And I'm gonna go side to side. All right, here we go. All right, nice work. Now let's go back to the middle. We're gonna grab the paddle again. If you need to, press your hands in together, clasp them. And we're gonna dig into the water to just one side. Paddling through one side here with your paddle, your oar. All right, pressing those hands together if you need to. Digging into the water for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now the other side, dig deep. Paddle through, getting that diagonal motion here for 5, 4, 3, 2, pull back, 1. All right. Well, you are using everything you have with this warm-up, huh? You should feel the weight come over your legs. You should feel your core engaged. Shoulders are moving. It feels really good. All right, so now let's take that paddle out of the water, and now we're gonna move into some leg work here. So what I want you to do is have the fists out in front of you, just like so, okay? And I'm gonna stand one side. So just lift the knee, touch the paddle. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. All right, we're getting close to our 15 minutes, so we're gonna do one more song here to cool it down at the end. I'm going to start by opening the legs out wide, okay? All right, let's go ahead and follow along. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to hinge forward, okay? So like so, hinge and bring it back up. And when I say hinge, I mean I'm moving from my hips, so I'm keeping my back straight. If you need to clasp your hands and put them here, you can, or you could have them bent right here. So let's go for 3, 2, and 1. Now let's go ahead and reach toward the floor now. Here we go for 3. Bring your hands to the floor if you can. 2. All right, and with that one, don't look down. Keep a nice straight spine and come back up to the center. Next, I'm gonna rotate and turn my trunk so I can reach over one leg. So just slide those hands down the leg toward the floor. All right, as far as you can, and then pull it back up. Rotate to the other side, slide it down, bringing the chest down over my thigh, and then I'm gonna come back up to the center. Next, I'm going to bring my feet in and cross one leg over the other. Then I'm going to rotate toward that leg that's on top, looking behind my shoulder. I'm gonna bring this arm here to rest on my knee so I can push and twist a little bit more, okay? Very nice. And then if you can from here, go ahead and cross that leg over the other at the ankle, resting it up on the opposite knee. Try to let that knee drop down just a little bit toward the ground and then hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Uncross those legs. We're going to repeat to the other side to bring the legs in close, but cross one leg over, rotate around, pressing through the outer knee, twist and rotate, looking over your shoulder if you can, and then return to the center, come back to the middle, unwind your feet, and then bring this leg up over the opposite knee again. Open that knee up, dropping the knee down. Go ahead, hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. All right, let's uncross those legs now. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna fold forward. I'm gonna keep both of my legs together. I'm gonna take my hands and reach them toward the outside of one foot, just for a few seconds, reaching forward, and then I'm going to come back up. And I'm gonna reach toward the outside of my other foot, just bending forward here, and come back up. Next, we're gonna go into a hamstring stretch. I'm gonna straighten just one leg out in front of me. If you need to shimmy forward, go ahead. Straighten the knee, flex the foot, take a nice inhale, and exhale as you reach down, keeping your head up, back straight, and just reach toward that foot. And let's hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull it back and do the other side as you straighten that leg, extend it, flex the foot, cross the hands, reach for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and bring it back in. Now let's take a nice inhale, in again, and give you some nice, good, fresh oxygen to continue on the rest of the day. Let's inhale up one more time and exhale down. All right, reach those arms across. Give yourself a pat on the back for putting in the effort and the work today. And then you gotta make sure that you don't let one shoulder feel left out. So let's switch it up. Give yourself a pat on the back on the opposite side. Great work today. Thank you all for having me, and have a great rest of the day.